Hello everyone, this is Carrie from Celestial Forecasts with another reading for you. So this particular one will be focusing on your person's biggest wish or wishes about you. These are the decks that I'll be focusing on for this reading. General advice as always, guys, so please keep that in mind throughout the reading and only take the parts of it that do resonate for you personally and release the rest. So let's go ahead and get into it and see what it is that you need to know. Hi there, Cancer. Let's get started. So I will be pulling 3 cards from my Heavenly Hearts Oracle to give us an indication of what your person is wishing for. So this is for the collective, and you might relate to one message more than the other, so we'll see how it comes through. Especially when you just feel your person's energy through a message. Let's see. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Okay, best friends, best lovers, best soul spouse, and the best is yet to come. So if you relate to this, you guys connected as friends and that turned into something pretty amazing. You know, this person could have been or is your ride or die, and maybe you guys had a falling out. As far as romantic partnerships, maybe you feel like this is the best love experience you've ever had, and they're feeling the same way. They're wishing for more, you know? So let's see what else. That's too many cards. Maybe this person really wants to say so much. All right, too many cards. Let's grab just one other one. Grab 3 altogether. All right, here are the 2 cards. So the first one, my love for you is endless. Basically, no matter where life takes you both, and it really depends on where you're at right now. You know, you guys might be in a partnership and just dealing with some issues, or maybe you are in separation and not even in contact in the 3D. Regardless, you know, this person is telling you that they will always have love in their heart for you. And this is the 3rd card. The falling rain, like the tears from my eyes, know the depth of my sorrow. It hurts missing you. So again, another message focusing on separations, 2 people who love one another but are not together. Okay, so that's what's coming through there. Let's set this aside and let me go ahead and see what else comes through for you, Cancer. So what I'm seeing as far as their biggest wish is to reconcile, to have you back in their life. As it states, it hurts missing you. And maybe you've been drawn to this reading because you miss them as well. All right, let's see what else we can find out when it comes to your connection. For Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Free. All right, so it says, you've had my heart right from the start. And some of these messages, Cancer, this could be how you're feeling and what it is that you really need to express to this person, you know? So you've had my heart right from the start. My heart comes with no conditions, no boundaries, no color lines, no restrictions. It belongs to you, all of it. Together, our hearts become one. Together, our hearts are free to love, to live, to just be. You know, so I'm kind of getting this for some of you. Take it again only if it makes sense. Maybe this is either something you're dealing with now or you have dealt with in the past when it comes to your person. One of you or both of you, you guys were not free to pursue the relationship. So what that basically means is you or them were already connected in other relationships. So this might be a 3rd-party situation, or it might be even more complicated than that, a 4-party situation. You know, maybe both people were married, or there's just something coming through here where you were tied to other connections. You were not free to be together. This is the next card. Yes, they are nostalgic. And it says it's been years. For some of you, maybe it has been years. Yet it feels like it was yesterday. I thought that time would make this easier on me, my heart, my mind. I wish I could turn back time to undo the damage that was done, to make different choices, but I can't. We can't. All we have are our memories. So that's pretty significant, why they feel they can't. And part of the reason why they can't could be because they're in another relationship. And that could apply to both of you. So if that's continuing to happen, that could explain why you cannot be together at this point in time. Let me grab one more. And if that's not the case, this is focused simply on two people who love each other, who happen to be in separation. And their wish is to be back together with you. Give me one more card for Cancer. Look at that. Somebody definitely wants another chance, a second chance. So this card says we take chances. We have to take risks in love. Sometimes we get burned, sometimes we get stung. I feel you both know what that feels like. The key is to never stop taking chances. You never know. That last chance you take might be the one that leads you to the ultimate happiness. So if they're willing to take a risk, if they're willing to take a chance to reach out to you, to try again, to open up a new chapter for the both of you, it's just really important to note that if you're both taken or one of you is in an existing partnership, you're heading for either heartbreak or a tower experience. So this is one of those situations where we're not doubting the connection or the love that you feel towards each other, but there are complications, and part of that complication might have something to do with an individual that is either married or taken. That could apply to both of you. All right, so let's go ahead and clarify with tarot here for Cancer. Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. What do we need to know when it comes to this connection? All right, look at this. Two of Swords. That is followed by the Three of Swords. So I can't help but feel that it might have something to do with a love triangle situation, which is why there's no movement, you know? So they can desire a second chance all they want, but they have to be free to pursue that with you. Right now, I feel they're struggling, you know? It's so easy to focus on the wishes. It's like, oh, I wish I could be with my person. But then they get caught up in those fantasy-like thoughts, and it's a lot more difficult to turn it into reality, I feel. Let's see what else here. What else for Cancer? All right, we have a reversed Chariot. So this is interesting because the Chariot represents your own Cancer energy. So reversed represents self-doubt, scattered energy, lack of direction. That perhaps is how you are dealing with the separation or the challenges that you are going through with this person. You're doubting yourself. And so you need to get into that mind frame where you're very clear. You need clarity. You need to know what the road ahead looks like based off of your actions and choices. Ace of Cups, followed by the Moon. It's really important for you, Cancer, to be real with yourself, to be truthful with yourself, because the person that you could be focused on could be deceptive, okay? Or they could be keeping things from you, or you guys ultimately kept the relationship hidden, especially if there were other people in the picture. What you're being directed to focus on, I feel, Cancer, is loving yourself. Ace of Cups starts with you, to be able to fill your own cup, to love you enough to do the right thing rather than compromising your integrity, you know? It's really important to fill that cup first before you're able to extend your heart, the love that you have, to somebody who certainly is worthy of it, because this is what you're headed for with that Ten of Swords. you know, failure, collapse, a painful ending. I feel you've already experienced that, or you're about to. It can be averted, but it's one of those situations where you have to make better and wiser choices. You know, you can win in the end, but you really have to make choices that are conducive to what works with your life. Don't put yourself second, you know, put yourself back on your priority list, because I have a feeling whoever it is you're thinking about for this reading, you put them first, and it's time to choose you. You know, so you could love this person, you could miss them, but I'm getting complications here. And perhaps if you relate to that, you know what those complications are. You know, so be mindful, pay attention to the red flags. All right, guys, so that's what I've got. If you're interested in your own reading, that info is down below in the description box. And of course, I will link the decks featured here. Thanks so much, guys. I'll catch you next time.